Now let's open our inc folder and create a new file called initialize.php. Inside of this folder, inside of this file, let's open a PHP tag and create a closing one as well. Now let's type in require once, and we're going to require, first of all, if we open any of the files, let's say pages underscore list.php, we normally require our connections conDB.php. So this is the first thing we're going to require. And the next thing we will require will be our config file, which is inside, it's outside of the admin file folder. So it's going to go up, inc, and it's going to be config.php. Now that we've got all this done here, if we go to, let's say, our first page, pages list, we can place everything from inside of the fnc file into our functions.php. So let's open our functions.php and fnc.php. If we copy both of these functions into our functions.php after the getContent function, we can close our fnc. Now we can remove the require once fnc, and let's require this time our initialize. So we need to go to inc folder, initialize.php, and now we have included our connection and config.php by doing this. As you can see, Dreamweaver has created quite a lot of redundant code which is repeated on every single page. Like, for instance, if it sets function, if it sets session, and that sort of things. Let's say here we've got obviously our validation in terms of whether the user has logged in or not. So this could be easily passed to this initialize function as well. So if we copy the entire thing and paste it above our require once functions, then if we have a look at the page, we can obviously remove this now. We've got function getSQL value string. Okay, this function is also displayed on every single page. So if we copy this function, starting from if condition, whether it exists, cut the whole thing, and if we go to our functions.php, scroll right to the bottom, and paste it there, then obviously this function is now available to every single page because it's included through the index.php. So this way we've removed quite a bit of code from pages underscore list.php. We can do exactly the same thing with every remaining page. So let's go through all of the pages and do the same thing. Let's copy this require once inc initialize, and we're removing this, and we're removing this function as well. And then we've got just a statement for the page. So if we paste it here, actually we can remove these PHP tags to make everything inside of one container, and the same down here as well. Okay, next page is pages remove confirm. We can remove this one. We can remove this restrict access to page. We leave this if it's set get id. Okay, now we can paste it. Have a look at how much code is gone now. Then if we go to pages edited, exactly same thing. Require once initialize, pages edit. Now we also have FCK editor, so this one we will need to keep this one. So keep our FCK editor. We remove all this code from here. We can remove this as well. We paste our initialize. remove this function, which we already have in our functions.php file. Okay, pages added. All this content and initialize, pages add. Again, we have FCK editor here, which we'll keep. Put our initialize file, restrict access to page. Okay, and this function can also go. Then nav order. We don't need any of this. And we don't need this function. Our initialize. Logout hasn't got anything there. So login. Now login, obviously, we don't want to restrict access to page, so we need to keep it the way it is, really. But instead of linking to FNC file, we obviously will be linking to our functions file now. Can remove this function. So it's going to be inc functions.php, and now we also remove this entire content. Now we've got include header. Oh, actually, yes, that has to stay here. Sorry. Okay, we can remove this if it's set and paste it inside of our functions as well. So if we take this and if we go to our functions.php right to the top and we check whether the session is set, if not, then start session. Okay, got everything here, that's all fine. Login, then we got login failed. Login failed, which we need to copy our initialize. There you go, header. Okay, then we've got our email password. So we can remove both of these. Is there authentication as well? And this function from the top. And our initialize. And then email password edited. Functions. Okay, just our initialize, and we're ready to go. Okay, so let's have a look at this in our browser. We're most probably going to have some problems. Yes, that's what I thought. Require once, fail to open through not such file or directory. We go to our editor. And if we go to our inc folder, we've got just contact and functions. So let's copy our config file from our previous videos into our inc folder outside of the admin one. And now if we go and check fresh, there we go. So now everything works well, nearly fine. If we check our editor again, it was nav order.php. If we check here, as you can see, we're still requesting the FNC file. So if we remove this one, we go to the browser, refresh. Now we got rid of it. Okay, email and password. Everything seems fine. Okay, let's move to the next video now.